All right, beautiful ones, if you're here with me, please allow yourself to clear out any distractions and give yourself this time. Give yourself the time to be with me as we activate the field of the art of receiving. Very powerful topic, very powerful conversation, and very powerful communion. Because if you are in my field, as with everything that I do, I'm not just here to have a discussion with you. I'm also here to really activate this energy, this pillar of light that already exists within you, this essence within you that has always been whole to begin with, that has never, ever missed or lacked anything. So open your heart. Let yourself be here, fully present. I'm also going to take questions, so if you have anything that is arising within your field, you're so welcome to drop in anything that is coming through in the comments section. And if you feel the call, you're absolutely welcome to send me a DM to share, to talk a little bit more about what you're going through and what kind of support you're looking for. And we can take it from there. All right, beautiful ones. So, welcome. Coming in here, I want to share a little bit about myself. And we can move from there, because this story, whatever that I'm sharing from my heart about my experience, what I am seeing, is also a medicine for your soul, a medicine that is completely what your soul is asking for. And as you move into this energy with me, you can already feel that there is a deep invitation, a powerful invitation for you to trust, to sink into trust, to receive what you are here to receive. And I also feel the calling for stillness today. A really deep yearning for stillness. And may it be known that this stillness that is truly who we are, it's an embodiment of that stillness. It's not what you have heard outside often about what it means, like I need to completely blank out my mind. Like that's not the kind of stillness that we're talking about. With the stillness that we are here to anchor in, as you feel it moving through you now, as I am moving it out into the field towards you, and should you decide to receive, is a stillness that reminds you of who you are. It is a cosmic presence that perhaps has flashed past your life in the way where as a child you love to communicate with the stars. Maybe you built this entire world of your own, where you dreamt of palaces and castles and clouds and mountains and the constellations, the Milky Way, the fays, the fairies. And I want this to be known that that wasn't just some fantasy, as people calls it. It was your very, very pure communion with a very real dimension. And remember this, all exist because you exist. And this physical body that you have is not just the only thing that you have. You exist on many dimensions. And at the very ultimate supreme dimension, you are the only one that exists. So take a deep breath in here. And tell me, my loves, tell me in the comment section, do you allow yourself to receive? And what is the most challenging part about receiving? Two years ago, I was coming into a place where I have been running my business, and this beautiful business was such a powerful portal for me. It was such an expansion for me, because not only was I in a place where I could support myself through something that is completely free from the construct of authorities or the conventional idea of a 9 to 5. I also found myself moving through a time where I was really, really contemplating what it meant to run a spiritual business. And for me, I found it really hard to actually receive help, to receive money through this business. Because there was so much chatter, really not mine. I never had problem with receiving money, by the way, until I started to come into all these spiritual teachings where the teachers and the gurus were saying, you know, you can't charge for something that is so spiritual, that is for other people, that is service. If it's service, then you can't charge. And there are all these stories, of course, like Francis of Assisi, of giving away everything and living on bare minimum and bare threads of clothes in order to be closer to God. And I really questioned that. Not questioning them for what they are, but rather to question, what is my contribution to this narrative? Why be another spiritual mentor on this planet when there is so many wisdom out there already? Like, what is it that I'm here to be of service? And what does it mean to be in service of light? And like I said, 2 years ago, I found myself walking through the mountains in the Isle of Skye, and I heard the Divine Mother speak to me. Let the divine live through you. Let the divine live through you. The divine desires to live through you. And those moments were so powerful. I felt the bliss. I felt the entire thread of light wrapping around me. And it was a mystical experience that left me feeling like I need to talk about this. I need to share, because I don't know what happened there. And I was constantly looking outside of myself, telling people the story, asking them, what do you think? What is this? What do you think? And I never actually found a fulfilling answer to what I experienced. And looking back now, I can tell you this is because nobody actually in my life ever experienced it the way that I did. flash forward to right now, going through what I had to go through, which was really to confront some of the people in my life that wasn't really serving me, that I have created in my field because I knew deep down inside of me, I felt that I needed the answer to come from outside. And thanks to this experience, I can actually sit here today and tell you that everything I'm here to do, that I am doing, that I'm choosing, is to be closer to God. That's it. I lay my life out on the altar of the divine because I realized one thing, that real change doesn't come from changing things outside of me, and real wealth doesn't come from constantly chasing and chasing and chasing after someone else's standard of what wealth is. And real sovereignty, my loves, as women, comes from truly mastering the art of receiving. And so I choose, and I continue to choose the way I run my business, the way I charge for my service, the way that I construct and design everything that I do is in service to the visionaries that I know I'm here to serve. And so yes, it will stretch you to work with me. It will stretch you to listen to me. It will stretch you. Because I know the women that I'm here to work with, you're not someone who sit on your ass. You know what you want and you go for it. There's no question about that. The only thing that trips you up oftentimes is holding that energy steady. It's like you decided and then you start to doubt. You get into your head. You know a lot. And that is also one of the things that trips you up. You know a lot. And so what my job is to help you to quicken that path through really holding a spaciousness for you to completely be free to accept yourself just as you are. And it is very important, my loves, because it is so easy to get into the head when you are emotional and you start blaming it on someone else, or you start blaming yourself, shaming yourself, guilting yourself even. And you start to think, oh, this thing is not going to work. I'm not going to do it anymore. Like, oh, nobody is answering. Nobody is responding. Like, this is not going to work. Oh, they rejected me. They're going to reject me again. I've been bitten too many times. I'm not going to do it. And then you cut off your receiving channel. And then you sit there wondering why you're still meeting people in your field that is completely not rising to your standards. The real question is, are you really in the center of your reality, or are you playing second fiddle? The question is, are you really, let's be honest here, are you really clear about what you want, or are you still mired in all the things you don't want? Oh yes, I would love to have that, but I can't because somebody in my life said that I had high expectations and maybe it's not ever going to be met. I am just fooling myself. Or maybe you're thinking, well, I would love that life, but hey, how am I going to do that when I have all these little things that is going to disadvantage me? Let it be known, my loves. Let it be known that everything that is emerging in your field right now is an energetic match to you. No mistake. You can change that in the next second. You can raise the bar in the next minute, in the next day. But let it be known, right here, right now, everything you are encountering is an exact match to you. And I want you to know this because I want you to take your power back and be so certain that you're not a victim, that life is not working against you. It wants you to receive life. It wants you to receive your full potential. The question is, will you? And let it be known, you will never be ready for it. You know why? The next level, it will always be an unknown. You will never know it. Because it's never been done before, my loves. How can you know it? And so the work, when women come in and work with me, is really about clearing the channel to be a full recipient of your soul's desires. To be very clear of what is it that you're drawing in as an energy field, because you are an energy field. If you're seeing things in your life that is not a match to what you truly desire, that is not evolving you, that is not elevating you, then take a freaking good look at yourself. What part of yourself are you suppressing, and what part of yourself that you're inhibiting and holding back? With all those little excuses, with all those little things that you keep tripping yourself up with. Because my beloved woman, if you're here listening to me, I know you have full potential to shift out of it. You just have to be daring to do it. And what could be worse than living a life that at the end of the day, when you're on your deathbed, you say, I wish I had tried that. I wish I had really taken that leap and see where it went. Because that was exactly what I wanted. Instead of settling for a mediocre thing. Settling for something just because it's nice. And I am afraid if I voice out, then I won't be liked. You know, if I wanted to be liked, which by the way, was a big thing for me when I was really from when I was young and for a long time as a teenager to a young woman, I've always wanted to be liked. But for me to sit here today, what changed was I just knew that if I don't live aligned with my divine essence, which is here to activate, which is here to lead, I would not be happy. I would not be free. I would not be free from this old matrix that continuously tells us to live in a certain way, that tells us all these little things. And you're carrying it, my love. You're carrying someone else's karma. You're carrying someone else's teachings and conditionings. And again, I'm saying this not by saying any means that it is wrong, but it may just be ill-fitted for you. It's not for you. Because you are an iconoclastic, visionary, multidimensional woman who came here for a reason. You came here to create a new reality for the collective. And again, at the center of the field, at the highest supreme reality, there's only one of you here. You. So take a deep breath. If you have anything coming up, you're very welcome to share. I'm just scrolling back on some of the comments. Erica is saying, expecting to pay back with interest. That's your fear of receiving. Interesting. This is the thing, right? A lot of us think that in order to receive, we have to give back. But the truth is, there is no separation between giving and receiving. Take a deep breath. As with everything, I am not separate from you in the supreme reality. Yeah. Everything is one. Giving is receiving, receiving is giving. What is good is bad, bad is good. Everything is one. Yes? Agree? Stick with me here. But when we come through into this density, when we come into this dimension, we start to have what we call the law of duality. And this is why we see things as good for me or bad for me. We start to see things as right or left. We start to see things as more or less. Okay? You get this, everyone? So, of course, it's natural to say there is a difference between receiving and giving in this dimension. Now, here's the thing. This is where everyone gets really crisscrossed, cross-wired. There has never been an energetic correlation where in order to receive, I need to give. There's never been. Like literally, if you look at the law of duality, that's just giving and receiving. So somebody hijacked the word receiving by penetrating it with a conditioning that says that in order to receive, you have to pay back, and you have to pay back with interest. And take a deep breath. Can you feel this? Can you all see this? Can you start to see through the illusion? If you can, please let me know. Somebody said that. Maybe your grandmother, your great-grandmother, maybe your grandfather, maybe your father, maybe someone out there, like whatever. It could be your friends. Like it could be just that one single moment, that single experience where someone said to you, "Oh, thank you so much for giving this to me. Let me give you more. Here. And then you start to think that to receive, oh, I need to give back and more. And I witnessed this in the women in my family growing up, for sure. Like during Chinese New Year, we would carry like gifts to the family, and that family would be like secretly taking it, and then they would take it to the back of the house, and then they would start to pour more stuff into the bag, and then they would take the other bag out and say, "This is for you," right? And then the carousel just continues to go round and round and round and round. And I remember distinctly my mom, even said to me when I had my wedding, where I had people giving me gifts, she said to me, remember the people who gave you things, because you have to give them back twice more than what they gave you. Take a deep breath. My loves, we get to choose. We get to choose to continue to pander to that narrative and continue to feed it. Or we can say and feel into the truth, actually, not just like rewire your mindset. I'm not here to rewire your mindset. I'm actually here to activate the truth that is already innately within you. The nature within you to receive. Period. There's nobody out there that said that you need to give in order to receive, except for the conditioning in the human experience. God never said that. The trees never do that, by the way. They just receive. Isn't it ridiculous to see a tree? Like, have you ever seen a tree that said, wow, there's so much rain and I'm taking in so much already. Maybe I should stop. And I have to give 10 times back more. Never seen that. And you're not separate from nature. You've never been separate from nature. Abundance is your birthright when they say that. But it is true. Oh, hello, Becky, my love. Thank you. So thank you, Erica, for that. And so Vanessa next. It's something new that I'm allowing myself to get used to because, oops, it's bounced. Let me just come back to this. It's something new that I'm allowing myself to get used to because I'm usually the one caring for others. Yes, self-worth. And the independent mindset, I can do it better myself. Yes. Which I guess comes from perfectionism. Yes, Vanessa, this is the really important part that I work with my clients very deeply. You ultimately want to understand, like get to the root of the cause of perfectionism and also self-worth. You know, we can't talk about self-worth without really going to the depth of it. And the depth of it actually is the real question of, does God really love me just as I am? Can the divine truly receive me and see me just as I am? Or is there like this conditioning that runs in the background where it says to be divine means that you have to be perfect, that you have to know it all, that you have to be this wise person that nobody can say anything wrong about you and they cannot say you're wrong and there's nothing about you that can be cancelled, that can be, you know, rejected, or someone cannot even deny you, right? And the truth is, multiple truths coexist in this dimension. There is a supreme truth, and it all originates from there and returns to that, but there will be multiple truths coexisting. So why are we fighting to justify ourselves? If you're justifying, you're not embodied in that truth, actually. Full stop, that's it. And that is just something you can look at with curiosity, with love, and be like, okay, I'm trying to justify myself. There's something about this that I myself am not convinced with, and I'm going to do the work to really embody it, because this is the real deal. You can have a mystical experience, but if you're not embodying it, if you're not embodying this essence, then it doesn't matter. And you know why most people cannot embody it? It's because deep down you actually believe that you're not ready for it. Deep down you actually think that you have to be more, that you have to do some kind of thing before you can get there. And my loves, please remember, as an energy being, as a vibrational being, as a divine being, nothing is linear. Nothing. And if you keep thinking in a linear way, then of course life will reflect back to you like, in order to get there, I need to do this first, and I need to do this, and do this, and no, my loves. And this is where my women, when we work together, we really break this illusion so deeply. I had a beautiful call yesterday in my mentorship called Majesty. And, you know, there was so much mental chatter. But in the end, I asked her, I said, is this really what you want? Where is this coming from? And it wasn't even hers. And she realized that, and she told me, I feel so free. I am freed. And this is so many of my women, they actually, and if you resonate, please let me know, like you already live a freaking unrealistic life in so many ways. You just have to own it. society can so easily pull you back and say, you're having it so good, like, you should really be working harder, you should really be better or higher or whatever. But the truth of it is for you to deepen more into who you really are, which is love, which is divine. So even being independent is a conditioning, right? How can we think about, how can I be independent when the truth of the matter is we're constantly interconnected? Just looking at the food chain, you need food, you need plants, you need sunlight, you need water. You're already dependent on that. I'm speaking in a very general term. I understand what you're saying when you say independent mindset, but what is the energy that's hijacking this independent mindset, right? That is stopping you from really receiving. And I'm sure you've heard of this. When you eat and when you drink and you feel bad doing it, you're totally not even there, you're just consuming it, or maybe even really critical about it, and you're like, it's not good enough, might as well just avoid it. Might as well not eat, because what's going into you? Low vibration. Low vibration. And this is how illnesses come. This is how accidents happen, because there is a suppression of energy in you, and it continues to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow, and it becomes a block. For me, it's trusting I can receive without feeling indebted. It's the same as what I said before, yeah. Agreed, evil exists only because there is good, but it's hard to walk a line. Again, I feel this as a choice point. And again, it's so important for me to say this. How you know you're not spiritually bypassing this or mentally avoiding it is when you know you can fully witness the depth of your emotions when this comes up in you. You're not trying to push the waves back, you're not trying to avoid it, or you're not trying to intellectualize it, but you're fully with it. And I can give you an example of what happened to me today. I woke up and felt this powerful collective energy moving, and I found myself getting deeper and deeper into this stillness, into a mystery where a lot of truths in my life that I took as a truth started to confront me. And instead of drawing conclusions, I actually just really allowed that stillness to move through, anchoring me in, and I start to allow these emotions, these discomfort actually, to start to move around me. I'm not drawing any conclusions. I'm not drawing any conclusions because I know it's not the time. When it's the time, it will just naturally, it's like birthing. It's like, it will just come out. So I'm with it. I turn off all the noise. I turn off all the podcasts and all the shit. And I just sit. And I let the discomfort move. I let myself not know. I let myself be in the uncertainty. I let myself be in the doubt. I let myself be with these thoughts. Not pleasant thoughts, my loves. Not pleasant at all. Imperfect thoughts. Very wise being with it and allow it to move. Yes, you have to. Because ultimately, they are only energy that needs to move. That's what emotions are. But we make stories about it. We buy into the drama. Yeah. And this is by no means saying that it's easy, my loves. Yeah. I don't buy into the story. I don't buy into the drama. But the discomfort, my gosh. I was actually sitting here like a couple of minutes ago, like thinking, do I want to come on here? Like, I don't know. But I took my head out and I said, I'm just going to come in here. I'm going to see how many people are going to come in and we'll see how it goes. And here we are. And I'm so glad I did it. So, all right. So you get to choose, Eve. You get to really decide what you want to focus on. In the quantum field, what you look at can be a wave or a particle. You get to decide. You get to choose. And when we create at that higher plane, watch life rearrange for you, my love. Erica, yes. Wendy, church, religion. Yes, starting to feel it. It's hard to internalize it as a permanent reality, non-duality. Well, you don't have to internalize it. It's already there, right? And I think also, speaking about permanence, one thing that we want to come into mastery of, I feel, is that sense of real knowing that there is no permanence. The one thing that is true is forever, eternal, but that doesn't mean you have to be a sage or a guru or, completely enlightened to live in this way. You get to have the doubts. You get to have the moments where you move through life because everything is sacred. This is how you meet the divine in every moment. You don't need to internalize it. Internalizing something is like you're taking in a conditioning as well. It's like I'm saying it, so you need to take it in. What you want is to activate it within you. Like, what does that feel like for you? To be one with God, to be one with the divine, to be fully anchored in your essence. You don't have to be meditating all the time or completely be in a Zen situation to feel it. Like literally walking through the streets of London, I see the sacred everywhere. Especially in the beggars, in the homeless. I see them. I see it more prominently in them actually. And it brings tears to my eyes. It brings me even deeper to my purpose. Because I want this reality to be so profoundly rich. And for the ones who can hear me, who can get me, you can be the change. And we go from there. That's it. Awaken that knowing in you, to activate it in you is one thing. And then you walk. Take divine actions. Walk as that. Live as that. Lead as that. I connected with a beautiful sister who confirmed that my oracle saw through the truth. I was so irate and mad, but then let it go, and then I got exhausted. That's emotions moving through you, baby. And that's where, as a feminine receivership is so important, because when you receive nourishment, when you receive rest, when you receive the expansion, and you're focused on yourself, you're getting into mentorship spaces that really holds you to your highest potential, you're really nourishing yourself and letting yourself grow your roots and your branches and your flowers and your leaves. Things shift in your life. Like, this is all I can say. Men who previously didn't look at you start to look at you. Doors start to open. Opportunities come your way. People talk to you in a different tone. Those are just byproducts, by the way. We're not doing this to manipulate reality. We're literally just being in our truth. Literally. Wendy is saying nature is abundant and gives back naturally. Exactly. I love this. Oh, thank you. Yes. Okay, I've caught up with everyone. So, how's everyone feeling? Oh. Softer. Yes. Open the channel for receiving more love, because you are love. Open the channel to receive abundance, because you are abundance. Open yourself to be a multidimensional woman. You're not just one dimension. You can be so much. You can be sensual. You can be generous. You can be fully receptive. You can be angry. You can be wild. You can be messy. You can be in alignment. You can be close to God, mystical. You can also be practical. You can also be truthful. You can also be fierce. Look at Durga, Goddess Durga. So still, and yet so unapologetic about her desire and her fierceness. She's riding a tiger, my loves. Feel into that power as I move open your channels. If you're ready to receive, let me open your channels to receive. And let me know if you feel anything shift in you in the next couple of days. Never a coincidence, my love. Move out conditioning. Any conditioning that is blinding you. Feel it. Anchor that in. And thank you so much for receiving. Thank you so much for opening up yourself to this transmission. And for anyone who wished to journey even deeper with me, please know that you're so welcome to drop me a DM about the next steps. And as always, there's no convincing or anything like that. I'm not here for that. I wish to activate the truth in you and only the truth, and that's it. And walk as that abundance. Walk as that abundance. Let yourself decide for yourself if you wish to be guided or supported. Back to you, beautiful. I'm open to receive such resonance. Abundance is in all things. Beautiful. Wow, already shifting. Thank you. Wow. Deborah, hopeful, inspired. Then go take that divine action. Beautiful ones. Don't sit on it. Let that energy move out of you. Very timely, synchronistic. Thank you for your wisdom. You're welcome. All right, my loves. So hopefully I'll get to really come on here a bit more often, but thank you for being with me. I feel really complete. And for the ones who wish to journey with me, you're so welcome to message me about the spaces that are open right now. And if that's not for you, awesome. Stay close and hopefully we'll get to meet very soon again. Blessings, everyone. Bye-bye.